dimensional analysis, which is the basis of changing units from one to another. It has several different names, such as unit conversions, unit factor, factor label, or even conversion factor method. Several different ways to say the exact same thing. The essence is that you're using the units to guide yourself through the problem. You can convert between the measurements, such as English to metric, or within the same system by using the prefixes. First thing you want to do is figure out what you're given, then what is being asked for, and then here you're going to be setting up your conversion factor. And then we'll discuss more steps as we go along. So let's start off simple. We're going 17 inches to centimeters. I've given you the conversion factor up here on the right hand corner. Notice we have centimeters and inches in our conversion factor. That's good. That means we only need that one conversion factor. So the first thing you're going to do next, after you verify your conversion factor, is to put the number you're trying to convert over 1. We have inches on top, so therefore we want to put inches on bottom. Look at the conversion factor. You notice that 1 goes with inches. Therefore I'm going to put 1 next to it. Then on the top is going to be whatever it's equal to. So 2.54 centimeters over 1 inch. The inches cancel out. The reason being, if you take 5 divided by 5, that's going to equal 1. If you take 20 divided by 20, it's going to equal 1. If you take inches divided by inches, that will also equal 1. So even though we're dealing with letters and units here, the same mathematical principles still apply. Now you're going to multiply it as if it was a fraction. So you're going to multiply the top and you're going to multiply the bottom. So that comes out to be 43.18 centimeters. And on the bottom, 1 times 1 is 1. Because we only have 2 significant figures in our starting number, we only want 2 in our final answer. So the final answer is 43 centimeters. Okay, so let's try another easy one. We're going from quarts to milliliters. We look at our conversion factor. We have both quarts and milliliters in our conversion factor. So that means that we only need the 1. The next thing is put the number over 1. By putting it over 1, all you're doing is changing it into a fraction. Because anything divided by 1 is itself. So if I put like 35 over 1, that's still going to equal 35. I haven't done anything to the number itself. I just changed it to a fraction. And that's how we're able to multiply fractions like this. We have quarts on top, so we're going to put quarts on bottom. Look at our conversion factor. The number 1 goes with quarts. And then what it's equivalent to goes on the top. So 946.353 milliliters goes on top. The quarts cancel. So 0.85 times 946.353. That comes out to be 804.400. Once again, we only have 2 significant figures in our number. That means we want the first 2 numbers. If I put 80, 804 does not round up to 80. If I put 800, those zeros don't count. So what I end up doing is I'm going to put 8.0, so that way both the 8 and the 0 are significant, times 10 to the second milliliters. Now let's try to do something in a word form. Distance from Port Huron to the Indiana state line is approximately 271 miles. I express this distance in kilometers. So we have miles to kilometers. We have a one-step conversion here because we have both units in that conversion factor. So from here, we put the number in the question and we put it over 1. We have miles on top. That means we want to put miles on the bottom of the next line. Look at our conversion factor, and 1 goes with miles. And that equals 1.60934. The miles cancel, which leaves us with kilometers. And that comes out to be 436.13 kilometers. We have 3 numbers in our initial question, in our initial number, so that means we're going to have 3 significant figures in our answer. So that makes it 436. Alright, let's get a little bit more complicated now. A baby is born in the U.S. weighs 3.295 kilograms, according to the scale in the birthing room. Convert this to pounds and ounces so that you can tell the grandparents how much the baby weighs. So, we are starting off with kilograms, and we want pounds and ounces. There's a couple different ways to do this. Why don't we first start with getting it to kilograms to pounds? But we're starting with kilograms, and our conversion factor doesn't have kilograms in it. It has grams though, so we can relate kilograms to grams by saying 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. Alright, now we're trying to get to pounds. Well, it can go from grams to ounces here, and then ounces to pounds here. So from there, we can actually complete this conversion. So, take our beginning number, 3.295 kilograms over 1. Kilograms are on the top, so we're going to put it at the bottom of the next one. The only one here with kilograms is this one right here. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. I'm going to cross this off so I don't use it again. I don't want to confuse myself. I have grams on top, which means I want to put grams on the bottom of the next one. Look for grams in here. This is the top one's the only one that has it. 1 goes with grams, and that is equivalent to 0.035274 ounces. I'm going to cross that off so it doesn't confuse me. I have ounces on top. I'm going to put ounces on the bottom of the next one. We have 1 ounce on the bottom. That equals 0.0625 pounds. So, shortcut for doing multiplying fractions. If it's on top, you're going to multiply. If it's on bottom, you're going to divide. So, 3.295 times 1,000 divided by 1 times 0.035274 divided by 1 times 0.0625 divided by 1, and that all equals 7.264 pounds. So how many pounds and ounces there are? So I can say we have 7 pounds and we have more than that ounces. So I can take 0.264 pounds and just convert that alone over to ounces. So in 0.0625 pounds, there's 1 ounce. And that comes out to be 4.227 ounces. So I have 7 pounds and 4.227 ounces, or approximately 7 pounds, 4 ounces. Alright, let's look at when they actually give you the conversion factor in the question itself. The moon is 384,403 kilometers from the Earth. Estimate how many quarters, so we're looking for quarters laid end to end, it would take to reach the moon if the quarter was a diameter of 2.3 centimeters. So they tell you that 1/4 is equal to 2.3 centimeters. We're starting off with kilometers. They gave us this conversion factor, and it has centimeters. The thing that relates centimeters to kilometers is the base unit of meters. So 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer, and 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. From here, we can set up our conversion factor because all the units that we need from beginning to end are in these three conversion factors. First thing we want to do is put it over 1. We have kilometers on the top. I'm going to put that on the bottom of the next one. So look at all your conversion factors and look for kilometers. This is the only one with kilometers in it. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. We have meters on top. That means I want to put meters on the bottom of the next one. I crossed that one off so I don't get confused by it. The only other one that's meters is right here. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. Once again, centimeters on top, put it on the bottom of the next one. I'm going to cross this out because I already used it once. Then I go over here. 2.3 is on the bottom, and then 1/4 is on the top. The top is where you're coming from. The bottom is where you're coming from. The top is where you're going to. The very last bracket should have your final unit, which it does because it's asking about quarters. It's asking how many quarters. So 384,403 times 1,000 divided by 1 times 100 divided by 1 times 1 divided by 2.3. Calculate that out, and it comes down to be a really large number. 1.67132 times 10 to the 10th quarters. We're going to have one last practice before the end of the tutorial. Once again, the conversion factors are actually in the question itself. A clerk can sort 375 sheets per hour. So that's going to be our first conversion factor. 375 sheets in 1 hour. There are 225 sheets in an inch. That's another conversion factor. 225 sheets are in 1 inch. How long will it take her to file 125 inches of loose paper? So that's going to be our starting point. 125 inches is going to go over 1. We have inches on top, so we need inches on the bottom of the next one. So we look at our conversion factors, we look for inches. No, it's right here. 1 goes with inch. And that equals 225 sheets. Cross it out so it doesn't confuse me. We have sheets on top, so I want to put sheets on the bottom of the next one. 375. And that is how many she can do in 1 hour. So 125 times 225 because it's on top, divided by 375 because it's on bottom, and it comes out to be 75 hours. I hope this helps you get an introduction to dimensional analysis because this is going to be a very important part of your scientific career in your courses.